Hello, everyone. I will call the meeting to order for the Park and Recreation Advisory Board, and we have a quorum. Roll call, please.
Pointer,
Here.
Dasso,
Here.
Greenlee,
Hugh. Keyfauer.
Here. It's Kefauver.
We'll work on it this week.
Kefauver.
Okay.
Like Walter Estes.
I apologize. Meyer.
Doesn't matter.
Here. Peterson.
Here.
Schertz. No. Wittenmeyer. Here. Oh, sure. We have a
Mr.
quorum.
Good. Thank you very much. At this point in time, we also want to take and approve the September 2023 meeting minutes, and you received those. And so I will entertain a motion to approve. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I will move to approve the minutes.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Those saying yes will indicate approval.
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
Any abstentions or absence? Nope. Thank you. We have no one present for public comment, and we have no old business, so we'll move on to new business. And you have received material in your handout. You want to take just a minute to find that. It's entitled Recreation Management Software. And Becca, I believe you're ready to roll with that. So we have the screen, but we also have our own copies.
Hello. So over the last year, part of my work plan for 2023 was to take a look at and explore new recreation management software for our department. And so it has been a little over a year since we started the process. It kind of kicked off with the NRPA conference last year in 2022 in Phoenix, where I started talking with some vendors. And then we have taken this year to explore our options. And once funding became available, went into contract. So I'm going to walk you through kind of some of the process, where we're at right now, and where we're going to be next year. Yeah, that worked. So we start out with first, so what is recreation software? This is what most Park and Rec districts, Park and Rec departments use in some manner to manage program registrations, class registrations, event ticketing, sports field reservations, shelter reservations, facility reservations, a lot of times point of sales for your concessions or merchandise. So it's a specific proprietary software that is used for this particular industry. There are a multitude of vendors out there that have some form of the software. We also use it for financial transactions. This is all of our fee collection. So that is fees for permits, fees for programs, and again, fees for concessions. And it's also our facility management. We use it as our master calendar to track what is happening in any of our parks and facilities at any given time. Whether that is something we are hosting as a department, an outside community member is renting from us, or maybe a community partner is holding something, an event or something in our parks. It also acts as an online customer portal. This allows people to be in their pajamas on the couch at 11 o'clock at night, registering their kids for learn to skate programs, learn to swim programs, golf programs. Well, we won't be doing golf. That's still going to be with 4 Up. Ice skating, sports, all of that. So currently we are with a system, it's RC Systems Incorporated is the company. The software name is RecPro. We have been with them for about 13 years now. So it is, a couple of things about this is that it is server-based. So it is actually housed in a server that our IT department oversees. And we have to be connected to the city's network for staff to be able to access the program itself. There is an online customer portal version that you can access via any web browser, but for our staff, if they're inputting any reservations or registrations, they do need to be connected to the network. So that does somewhat limit portability and being able to be out and about in the community. There is 2 portal logins that we currently do right now. One is the calendaring side, that is our registrations and reservations. The other login is our point of sale. So that can sometimes be a bit on the cumbersome side that you're having to log into 2 different apps or applications, if you want to think of it that way. And then one recent development with them is that they recently were acquired/merged with a company called DaySmart. DaySmart has been in the scheduling realm for a while. Then they slowly started acquiring other software platforms. They tackled hockey and ice rinks, and then have been expanding into parks and recreation management software as well. And they are actually transitioning to a web-based platform as well. So I put together kind of what our timeline has been, just to give you a visual. I talked about, we started the process really last year in October when I started chatting with and getting to know some of the vendors that were at the National Parks and Rec Association's conference in the exhibit hall. We, in December of 2022, had demonstrations with several of them. We scheduled demonstrations with several of them. So recreation staff and some of our internal staff could just see what other recreation softwares are capable. We've been with RecPro for a really long time. For some of our staff, that is the only recreation management software that they've ever known. And I wanted them to be able to, before we developed an RFP and decided what are things that we needed and wanted as a department, I wanted them to be able to see the capabilities of some of the softwares that are out there. So we did go through that process. Then as a staff, they gave me feedback, and that helped me formulate the request for proposals that we put out in March. It was open. March through May was roughly the timeframe of that. We had it open. Vendors were able to submit questions. We addressed those questions. Then they submitted their proposals, and we had a team of our staff that did the scoring on the proposals. From there, we did receive 8 proposals. It looked like we had about 15 that had opened the request for proposals document, and we had 8 that did submit a proposal. We reviewed those 8, scored on a matrix that we had created, and we invited 5 to do follow-up interviews. Our top 5 scores, we invited them to come do interviews with us. We did them virtually. Went through the interview process, and then from there, we did make our determination. And in July 1 is when our funding became available, and we entered into contract with our new system that we have been onboarding and moving forward with, and that's RecDesk. And we'll get into a little bit about RecDesk and then some of the benefits of what we're going to be able to and capabilities we're going to have in the coming year. So August and October was really spent in going through training, doing onboarding, starting to build the site. It is a kind of blank slate, so I've been working with the RecDesk's development team to create the customer-facing side, and I have been working on inputting all of our facilities, our programs, our fee types, program types, categories, photos, descriptions, waivers. I mean, I can talk really loud.
What happened?
Does anybody else's work?
It's blinking. No.
Mine works.
Hello, hello.
All right, hello. I think we're okay.
It got bored of listening to me. Thank you. My boss. Where was I? So we're still working on some of the site build, but there is a lot of infrastructure that goes into it. Part of the onboarding process has also been reevaluating some of our processes and procedures internally. looking at fees, looking at how we interact with our customers, especially now that we know we have some better capabilities. So November and December, this is where we are right now. We are testing and starting the training process. This is putting together all of our training documents, the step-by-step of like literally, here's how to search for a customer, here's how to create a customer, how to enroll someone, how to do a reservation. And so that is where we are right now. Our go live date is January 1st. So we are a little over 6 weeks away. We are going to be, you'll start seeing in December and January some digital advertising through on media. They do we do a lot of our golf advertising through them as well. You're going to start seeing them on, if you have smart TVs, you might see an ad for Davenport Parks and Recreation, letting people know to start creating their new accounts. We will not be importing any of the data that is in RecPro into our new system. It's a very old database when you're looking at it from a customer perspective. And the things we will move over are any reservations that we currently have for 2024. Those will come over. But we're not importing and exporting any of the customer accounts. We're letting everyone come in, create new ones, because the customer and household accounts are taking in a lot more information than what we were originally collecting. And we want to start fresh and clean. So 2024, January 1st, we're going to go live, but we are going to open it as a soft rollout on around December 15th to encourage people to begin creating their customer accounts in preparation for being able to register and use the system as of January 1st. So let's talk about RecDesk. RecDesk is cloud-based, so it can be accessed for staff or for customers from any web browser. Safari, Firefox, Edge, Chrome, whatever you use. If you have an internet connection in a web browser, you can access your household account, and staff from anywhere can access the back end of the system and help a customer out. This has been a big key for me in terms of my position with community outreach and customer service. I have big plans in 2024 to be able to do more off-site customer service events. We have one login with one portal. So I mentioned with RecPro, we have 2 different systems that we log into. With this, we have one. It's one browser. It gives them access to everything that they need, whether that is a point of sale or it is the calendaring side. Everything with the system is going to be fully digital. Some of the equipment that we have purchased is a signature pad. You might see this in a doctor's office if they have you signing waivers. You have a digital signature. We are now going to be able to capture that, and it will be stored in the system, so we don't have to print out paper, have them sign it, and then hang on to those files. Everything will be able to be digitally backed up. In addition, we are able to better attach and communicate with one another on reservations or programs and in customer accounts, where we are able to hold digital documents. So some of our programs may ask for allergies or a doctor's note if there's specific medication. I'm thinking of like camps. We can actually have parents upload those documents, and it makes it that much easier for our staff to quickly access that information while they're out in the field. So that gets into the document management. Some of our reservations, we do allow people to serve beer and wine if they are reserving our lodges, but they do have to submit event insurance for that. Right now, we get the event insurance, we print it out, we attach it to their paper contract, and it gets filed. With this, we are now going to be able to take the PDF that is emailed to us and attach it directly to the reservation, so all supporting documentation is centered in one place that is easily accessible by any staff who needs it, not just ones who are physically where the paper is. Tasks and notes. For me, this was a really big benefit to the software. Within the system, we have the capability now of assigning each other tasks. Maybe we want someone to review a contract. I can put a note in the system and say, at Jessica Rhodes, can you take a look at this insurance and let me know if this is correct? then she will get notification that she has a task. She can take a look at it, and then she can communicate back with me. It is all centered with that reservation. It's seen only by the staff, but it's a way that we can communicate and not have something potentially get lost in an email thread or on a sticky note. Everything is there, and we have a documented history. This is also really beneficial for our reservations. We have a lodge attendant that goes in after a reservation. Someone used one of our facilities to do the cleanup and assessment to make sure that everything's good, so we know we can return their deposit. We now have a way of better documenting and centralizing all of that information in one spot, so that if we did have to withhold part of a deposit, we have documentation and it's all in the same area. And again, it's a central location for all staff to be able to get to it. And then the external communication, this is another big one. We have the ability to not only email everyone who does sign up and becomes part of our database. If they give us a cell phone, we are also able to text them. And that is part of the subscription fee. There's no additional fees on top of that. This is key, especially for youth sports or any of some of our outdoor events. If we have people on a roster and we have to cancel due to weather, we are able to quickly text them and email them with just a few strokes of keys, hit send, type your email, hit send, and it will automatically send to everyone that you have dictated it should go to, whether it's everyone in our database or just the people who are on a roster for a particular program. Another big one for me, and I think for the rec staff, is going to be that right now, the way that we structure our programs, I'm going to use Learn to Swim. We have basic level 1, Learn to Swim, and we have 3 sessions, 3 2-week sessions. Right now, each of those is put in as an individual class. We have 3 at Annie Witt in Meyer Pool, and then we have 3 at Fedgeberry. So in our system, if a customer is looking at that, they see 6 different classes for this one class. With our new system, we're able to put the class in one time with the sessions underneath the class, making it easier for the parent to just find the one thing that they're looking for. It also makes it easier for our staff when it comes to trying to package and bundle up, because we typically have people signing up for multiple sessions. So not only is this going to be an improved shopping experience for customers, the look, the feel, the way the checkout process is a lot easier on the customer side. Think more of an Amazon experience where you're able to just throw things into a shopping cart and then check out at the end. Part of that is also the ability to widen the payments that we are able to take. So right now we take cash, check, and the major credit cards. We are now also going to be able to do ACH or e-checks. So if someone wants to pay that way, they can do that. In person, we'll still be able to do the credit card, any credit card, but we can also add in tap credit cards because of the new terminals that we're getting. We can also do Apple Pay and Android Pay, which is a big request over at the River's Edge all the time. Do you guys take Apple Pay? And unfortunately, right now, our system doesn't allow that. Another huge benefit is the ability to set up payment plans. We do this manually on a case-by-case for some of our larger ticketed items, camps, some of our junior theater. And now staff is able to build that in when they create their programs and don't have to give authority. Our clerks can go ahead and put people on a payment plan, and that makes it easier for them to pay over time. And then that means they're not missing out on being able to enroll in a program for lack of funds. So I think that this is going to be a huge benefit for our customers. Internally, we talked about the expanded communication, being able to centralize notes and tasks to one another. The fact that this is going to be web-based, meaning that we can be mobile. Taylor Schneider is doing amazing things with the Nature and Garden program, but obviously she is out in the field, and she ends up getting a lot of drop-ins who want to join the programs. And she will now have the capability of getting them signed up and have them sign the waivers all in a digital place. We're also working with them to do customized financial reporting. Our financial system here at the city is Munis, and right now we export out our financial reports. Our clerks do some data entry to kind of take that and transform the information to be able to get it into our Munis system. I'm working with our finance department and with the rec desk support team to create a customized report that we can just export, and it will talk as an import to Munis. And that's going to be some staff efficiencies right there. And then we have stabilized connectivity. While the server, our IT department does a great job with our server, from time to time, it does get hung up, it does freeze, it does kind of just glitch. And having this be hosted offsite and web-based does give us some more stabilization in terms of connectivity, especially when we're out in the field. So now I'm going to open it up for any questions.
Krista? Krista? Oh, Krista?
Can you hear me? Okay. What's the subscription fee? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, the annual subscription fee is $16,500 a year.
Oh.
We are in a 3-year agreement right now, and we'll reevaluate, and it's based on the average number of transactions that we do in a year. So that gives us an opportunity that if we have transactions that go down, we have an ability to potentially reduce that fee.
Good to know.
No, you guys have 4UP. It's a good program over there.
Jerry? You want to push your button so we can hear?
What about the golf course?
The golf courses have 4UP, and it's a wonderful program. It works well for them.
Great. Other questions?
I'm really excited about this. I just want to say that this is awesome.
We are as well.
Okay.
RecPro has been a very good program, but we've grown beyond the capabilities of what it can do. So we are very excited, especially for me, the customer service side, making it so much easier for our customers. Yeah.
Marcel?
Does it have any analytical, portion of it to be able to tell what classes do well or what programming does well?
A lot of that's going to be based on enrollments and rosters.
Okay.
Yeah, so we track all of that. And that is actually part of what Teresa's recreation team does. When they're looking at the life cycle of a program, they're going to be looking at what are the enrollments. Maybe one program that we do year round, it works better in some seasons, but not in others. So it doesn't necessarily have a metrics measurement built into RecDesk other than what we would pull in terms of reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on how you're going to introduce this to the public. Are you going first with current patrons and then open it up to the public in general? What's your strategy there?
So the Fall Winter Guide already had a page in it that kind of announced that this was coming. And we do have the digital advertising. We have a social media campaign. We'll put out a press release. This is going to go Davenport-wide. We do have an email. We have the email database in RecPro, and I'm looking at pulling probably the more current ones, maybe the last 2 years that have done programs with us, and doing a bulk email campaign to them. We also have our constant contact list as well, so we'll be doing it multiple ways. And we'll be doing this push for probably the next 6 months. Reminders of, hey, don't forget, you want to make sure you do this. And they can always, if they need help, we've got tutorials that I'm putting together on how to set up an account, how to go in and register for a class. I have been robbing and duplicating what other agencies have done when they transition to RecDesk. I have a couple professional groups that I'm part of on Facebook, and there's a lot of that sharing of information of, can you send me training manuals you've used? what are some tips on how you rolled this out? And there's a lot of those exchange of ideas. And I've just been like, ooh, I like that. I like that.
Good,
So.
good. Other questions, Chris? Got several, Chris,
Sorry.
and then,
Is there other software Parks and Rec uses for like the mowing and property tracking? Didn't we hear months ago about a software that kind of keeps track of different properties and how much is spent on them?
Yeah, so we utilize Cartograph, which Public Works uses primarily as their work system, but we piggyback off of their license to. Oh, oh, but yeah, so that does like our tracking of our mowing and
Okay.
our maintenance stuff.
Anthony? I think so.
Okay. My question was in regards to when you mentioned stabilized connectivity, that we had an in-house IT department. Was that specific to parks or to the city? And with this change, will our IT department be helping with that? Or will that, like, if there's a customer support issue, are you having to call there to get that fixed? Or are we going to be able to house that here?
The Parks does not have its own IT department. That's actually just, I guess, a handful of us staff members who are semi-tech savvy. We do have a dedicated city IT department who has been involved in the process. They were actually one of the ones who helped with reviewing the applications to make sure that it hit some of the technical needs that we have. In terms of if there's any issues with the recreation software itself, that does go to RecDesk. And I will tell you right now, I have been overwhelmed with how responsive and on top of things RecDesk is throughout this whole onboarding process. I have my centralized customer service manager, but I have reached out to other tech support for smaller site build issues that I was having, and they've had it fixed within hours. And they are Central Time, which is also nice as well.
Yeah.
Great. Other questions? I personally, and I don't know, I would like to be down maybe at the desk at River's Edge and just be a little mouse watching someone process so I could see what was going on as they talked to a customer and how they were putting the data in. I'm curious about how that all works, but you're going to have training, but is there ever a sneak peek thing we could do? I would be very curious. But
I'm happy to send you, once we go, especially once we go public with the link, I will be sharing all of that with you guys as well so that you can see from the customer side. And I would encourage you that if you do any kind of programs, transactions with us, definitely create your household account. But if you're interested in seeing a demonstration, once we get up and running, I'm happy to revisit that with you.
good. Maybe we could have an open, if people from the advisory board would like to see, would there be a group thing or a single? What would you do?
We could do either one.
Well, we,
It would be, well, I don't know group-wise how that would happen with the quorum.
small groups. at a
5 or
time.
less.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'd be happy to walk through stuff with you guys. We're, one of the things, Wendy, you might be interested in, we are looking at setting up a kiosk at the River's Edge for self-service as well.
Well, that would be really good. Yeah, that would be good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself. Other questions? It sounds like your brain is just swelling with all this information. It's great that you have that.
I have had very interesting dreams.
Is it going to be complicated for people to, when they want to register their account?
No, it's
Do
actually.
they know, is there going to be a direction in there or a directory?
Yeah, I'm developing not just training tools for the staff, but I am putting together as part of the whole like press campaign and messaging campaign, how-tos of here's how to register for a program, here's how to create your account.
Where to go?
Yeah, I'll have that for the public facing side as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for presenting this and looking forward to that kiosk when it happens. I'm asking, just for clarification, under staff reports, is the November staff report referring to the ones we received from each staff member, or is there a special other report that goes in? It says staff reports, and then we've got Chris coming next, and then Parker, the rest of the staff reports are broken down, so what's up? Do we know?
So the agenda in front of you is actually printed off the Novus system, where we upload all of your information, including the legal minutes. So there's a slightly different order on this meeting for November. You'll see that corrected in December.
Okay, so we don't need to concentrate on A and move forward.
No, you can do it in your normal order.
Okay. Well, we have Chris. Do you have a report for us on the Riverfront Improvement Commission?
Yeah, most of the meeting dealt with leases and some of the freight house stuff that's going on and the capital improvement projects down there. They have there's a lot of capital improvements that need to happen at the freight house, and the Riverfront Improvement Commission is trying to come up with kind of a long-term roadmap for both the improvements and what they see happening with the freight house in the long term. Front Street Brewery, for example, wants a longer lease. They want to commit to longer than they've been committing to be there, so that seems like a good thing. They had a busy stretch there. They had 6 days where they had 3 events. There was the Freight House at the Freight House thing. They were part of the Halloween parade. And then the Veterans Memorial Park ribbon cutting happened a couple Thursdays ago, I think. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the ribbon cutting because of parent-teacher conferences, but it looked like they had a really good turnout for that. And they said at the third Freight House, they had between 1,500 and 2,000 people down there for that event. So that's pretty good. And then there's a grant that they had put in for the causeway, for a study of the causeway to Credit Island, basically converting that to a bridge or something like that. Just the study, they'll find out in December if they're going to get that grant, which I believe covers all of it through the Corps of Engineers. But yeah, a lot of it, and like I've said before, the November meeting is a trolley tour of the various properties of the Riverfront Improvement Commission. So, yep, they are stealing our ideas. But yeah, it was mainly a lot of discussion about the leases, unless parks involved stuff. Although I did mention in giving them a report of our last meeting, I mentioned how successful the golf facilities had been, and it kind of veered off for a several-minute discussion about golf facilities with various members suggesting restaurants being added to Duck Creek. You know, there was basically some, why aren't we getting a new pro shop on the east side from certain Veteran Memorial Park people on that commission.
I thought you were gonna say they want a golf course back on Credit Island.
No, I don't think anyone, no one is suggesting that. I think they're happy with the Frisbee golf, and I think they're happy with the current playground plan. So, but yeah, they were very pleased, and I mean, I think we were all pleased at those golf numbers that we got last month. So that was a nice thing to pass along.
Questions for Chris? Triggering anything? Well, thank you. We appreciate your attendance at the meetings and speaking up for us, you know, and what we're doing here. So that's good. Park operations, a staff report was given to us by Betsy. Any questions? Or I just said, definitely ready for the holidays for what you reported. I love that. So we're set to go. I have not stopped for the mum show, but I always do, so I have to get my act together. So, is it gone now? Well, don't go to the mum show. I missed. I went quickly and and I didn't get there. So, yeah. Any questions? If not, we'll move on to Teresa's written report. Teresa's not here, but we do have information there in regard to her report. Clear? Good, good, good. Revenue facilities. Troy is here. Are there questions for Troy? Are we good to go with that as well? Do we have a specific date for the ice finally being down on the second sheet? Is it getting closer?
Our hope is to be building ice the week after next, so by December 1st.
A happy
All the
birthday.
repairs have been made that we ran into in terms of the glycol lines, and they will start cooling the arena again and attempting to paint and build ice the last week in November.
Awesome. Thank you. That's good to hear. Where are the staff vacancies that are still open? Is there specific areas in regard to that? That was the last bullet on the revenue report.
Yeah, the primary positions, concessions continues to be a challenge in hiring skate guards as well as Olympia drivers. So we've had a couple though increase recently, but the idea is once the second rink comes into operation and if we have successful proof of revenue concept, our hope is that the finance department will increase our rate of pay for those positions and based on the fund performing well, and then we'll be able to potentially attract additional employees.
Good. It's nice to have no bumps on the ice, I must say, now that it's cooler. So thank you with that. And I know that that is still an issue with the, especially the Zamboni and skate guards and all of those. It's the ice resurfacer. It's not a Zamboni. I know that.
Olympia.
Olympia, yeah.
Don't
Sorry.
let Ryan here used to call it a Zamboni.
Oh, he would be very distracted. How about your report, Chad? Do you have other things that you would like to add?
I do. A couple things. We're going to play a little game here for a minute.
Okay.
Jess is going to pull up a picture, and we're going to play Where's Wendy Peterson? So this is our parade float. Thank you to everybody who participated and came to the Halloween parade. The Peanuts theme this year was very successful and well attended. I don't know where Wendy is. Does anybody?
No. Yeah. I was sitting on a hay bale, and I had black pants on, so at the end, people were brushing all the straw off.
We're curious who's next to Snoopy.
Yeah, who is the gentleman with the sign by Snoopy?
That is Teresa Hammond's friend.
Okay.
She dressed up as the teacher that goes, her sign says, wah, 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 wah. And she drove a golf cart for us. It was absolutely lovely.
Well, originally Snoopy was going to walk in the parade, but Snoopy rode, and halfway through, the battery died, and Snoopy was collapsing.
Oh, no.
And so there was a good theatrical thing going on that Snoopy started to do this, like he was crying, and I was throwing candy from there, and I said, Snoopy's unhappy, he's losing his air, for little kids who are wondering what's going on with this stuff. So that was the most interesting, yeah. So it was a great day. It was a great day. Chilly, yes, but a great day.
Yeah, so thank you to all those involved, and a special recognition and kudos goes to Jessica because
Yes.
this is her jam. She loves
Yay.
this, and she coordinates our float every year and did another excellent job this year. So,
Yeah, that's fun.
moving on, you have in front of you an invitation or a flyer for the VIP showing of the February Holiday Lights, which is next Tuesday at 7:45. This is, I believe, our fourth year, third, who knows, we lose track, but doing the February Holiday Lights, so if you're available and then the show will go live on Saturday, on the 25th, and will run most of December and into January. First Sunday of January, there we have it. So encourage everybody to come out, check out the lights. We've expanded it a little bit more this year. Each year we try to make it bigger and brighter. And of course, the show itself, the songs will be new this year. They change every year. So we're excited to have that come back. And then, Wendy, you had asked last month about sort of an ice allocation plan as far as how things will be allocated for the second sheet of ice and the or both sheets of ice at River's Edge. So Ryan is preparing that, finalizing that. I'll have that at the December meeting or January. One thing I will tell you is that there will be no negative impact in terms of user group. Most everybody should see an increase in availability with the second sheet of ice. So, for example, the adult public skate that we host one time a week now will likely go to 4. Figure skating will get additional time. Hockey will get additional time. More public skates. So, but we'll have a matrix, a layout of allocation for you in the coming
I'm
month.
hearing requests for, can we have more adult skate time?
Yeah,
So
and you
that's
will
great.
get more adult skate time. So you can share that.
I hope it's not, like the freestyle for lessons at 6 o'clock in the morning.
We were
Talking
thinking
like-
like 4:30 in the morning and maybe
No,
11 p.m. at night.
yeah. Adults, remember.
Right. No, it'll be over that noon time frame, or 11 to 1. Yeah. So,
It's a good group that comes.
and then just some updates on some projects. 2 of them have started construction. The Credit Island Nature Play, we're currently moving Phil in there, and they'll start actually building sometime here in December. Dose, we had our project kickoff meeting for the Dose Splash and Play. They're hoping to get some of the land work done. We've removed some of the earthwork from the site, and that will be heading full steam. Multi-sport courts have been rebid. That bid closes Tuesday, so we're hoping for favorable bids so we can complete those this spring. And then the E-Mice Playground, we received proposals on the play components, so we will need to just now bid out the installation. So that, and then Cork Hill Splash Pad, and these are all ARPA projects. Mine is the Credit Island one. Cork Hill, we finalized everything, and that will be installed this spring as well. So hopefully before summer, all our ARPA projects and our Credit Island Nature Playground will be open. So plan on a lot of ribbon cuttings and photo ops this spring and summer. So we're excited to get all these projects up and going. And then I'm going to put Jerry on the spot a minute to update us on the E-Mice Clubhouse Committee.
Yeah. Go for it.
Well, we had a meeting the other day, and what they're doing now is they're doing a recommendation from 2 different firms. And one of them is Leggett, and the other one is OPN. And I think you're gonna go with OPN. And as I was talking to some other people, OPN has done some other things for us too, some other buildings.
OPN designed Fire Station 3 on Brady. That's under construction now, and the Fairmont Community Center.
So they're in the process of doing your interviews with them, am I correct? And you're
Those have
gonna
been
kind of go
completed.
with, you're gonna.
Yeah. So those have been completed, and we're working on the contract from OPN. They're
OPN.
waiting to respond, so.
Okay. And the first tee is, the process will be where they will start working for funding. And then, of course, everyone has to be going in the same direction, whether it be the park system or for the first tee system. That was another thing that Sarah Cross had brought up. And she went through, I was really impressed with what she was saying about what that golf club is gonna look like. And there were some other questions on what you should change the name, but you know what? I think it just should be E-Mice Golf Club. There you go. That'd be the thing. So anyway, that's what's going on, and so later on, I don't know how long it will be before we'll be able to see pictures, so.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a concept level rendering sometime this early spring, late winter. Because the idea is to take those and kick off the fundraising component for the clubhouse in conjunction with the golf season returns and pretty much fundraise the majority of 2024, hopefully reaching the goal sometime late 24, early 25, to where we can then maybe break ground by fall of 25.
Yeah, that's great.
Questions for Jerry or Chad from the reports? We're still. Are we going to be still for our advisory point, our advisory time, or ideas? We'll generate ideas, suggestions for future agenda items. Have you thought about that and ready to share?
There was talk a while back about some kind of trails committee or something. Is that moving forward at all?
Not as rapidly as I think Mike or I would like. So we continue to talk, but we need to. I need to do dedicate some more time to that.
I'm very interested in that as well, and it's next year should be a big year for trails, it sounds like, in Davenport, so makes sense to get on it.
Advisory time, other things. One of the things that triggered from comments last time, I'd like to hear from us sometime on ideas from board members on what they would like to do that might be extra special on the ice sheet. Winter Games, I talked briefly with Jessica, and is it okay to say that there is a curling possibility? Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, we acquired a curling set for conference, so yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah. Other things like that, things that would generate interest that might be kind of fun, I've thought about Caitlin Clark on ice skates shooting baskets. No, but, wouldn't it be fun? No, we don't want to kill her, but, is there something that triggers as in your movement around in the community that we might want to trigger some thoughts on? Krista?
I think the adult games sound fun, and we've mentioned that a few times, but I think it's a good way to get adults back into the parks. And then also, if they have kids, then also involved in other leagues. But adult games sound like fun. It sounds like something I'd be interested in winter. Just throw it out there.
A warm winter day, you would be out?
I have ice skates, so I figured, something on the ice, that would be nice.
I guess for now.
Madam Chair, did you want to discuss December board
Oh,
meeting?
yes, we'll do that. We have heard that lots of things are in action, but action to do other things could be delayed. If we would want to not have a meeting in December, that would be up for discussion. Would you?
We have no pressing new business next month to bring to you guys. It's, I believe, the third Thursday is the 21st.
21st.
So it's relatively close sort of to the holidays, so didn't know if you guys had anything or if we wanted to take a month off. It makes no difference to us, so.
Well, why don't we just do a show of hands on saying, let's have our next meeting in January? Yes.
How can I come, so?
I think you've got the answer. No, it is just very, very, very close to the holidays, and, yeah.
Staff agrees, we would concur,
Okay.
yes.
Well, make that change on your calendar, or on your minutes here, that we will meet in January. I don't have my calendar in place, but.
In front of everyone is a printout
Yeah,
of the
January 18th, yes, it's 18th.
2024 schedule was provided to everybody along with a digital copy in the last email I sent out.
Yeah, and that would make our next meeting January 18th, if I put two and two together, so make a note for that. Any other information or comments? Yes, we have the happy there. If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting. Okay, it's been moved. Is there
I
a
second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn for today. Those saying aye will make it happen.
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you. Well, have a great holiday, right? Yeah. Enjoy your time with family and friends and drive carefully, safely. Yes, carefully and safely. Thank you.